Some people believe that talent is the most important factor in success. They think that if they're born with a certain gift, everything will fall into place. But I'm here to tell you something that might shock you. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. Talent might give you an edge, but it's discipline that will carry you across the finish line. Let me ask you this. How many times have you seen someone with raw talent fail? I've seen it countless times. They get a taste of success early on and think they've got it all figured out. But without the backbone of discipline, that initial spark of talent fades away. Discipline is what turns a good start into a long-lasting journey. It's the thing that takes you beyond what talent can provide. You see, success doesn't come from a one-time burst of brilliance. It's about systems. It's about what you do consistently, day in and day out. That's where discipline comes in. Sure, you might feel motivated some days, but let's face it, motivation doesn't last. What gets you through the tough times, what pushes you when things get hard, is the discipline to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's important to remember that discipline doesn't just help you maintain your starting point, it turns the average into the extraordinary. Look around you. The most successful people you know might not be the most naturally gifted. They might not have the raw talent others do, but what they have is something more powerful. They have the ability to do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like doing it. And that ability is what turns average into excellent. Let's talk about time for a moment. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Talent doesn't get more hours, but discipline takes those 24 hours and makes them count. It's discipline that decides how you spend your time, how you invest in yourself, and how you grow. It's discipline that makes every minute of your day, no matter how talented you are, if you waste your time, talent won't save you. And here's the hard truth. Without discipline, talent becomes a trap that makes you think you can rely on your natural abilities, while the world moves forward with those who are disciplined. Talent alone won't push you to be your best, it won't make you work harder, and it won't keep you humble. Discipline, however, will make you show up, improve, and grow. It's the thing that separates those who make excuses from those who make progress. So remember this, talent is something you're born with. Discipline is something you choose to develop. Choose wisely and let discipline lead the way. It will take you farther than any amount of talent ever could. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. Talent might give you an initial advantage, a head start in the race of life, but without discipline, that gift is useless. You can be born with all the talent in the world, but if you don't put in the effort, if you don't show up day after day, your talent will never reach its full potential. Talent is what you're born with, but discipline is what you choose to cultivate. It's the conscious decision to keep pushing forward even when things get tough, even when others take shortcuts or give up. Talent may open doors for you, but it's discipline that keeps those doors open. How many times have you seen people with incredible potential fall short of their goals because they didn't commit to the grind, didn't commit to the day in, day out work that success requires? Talent might get you noticed, but it's discipline that gets you to the finish line. You see, the people who succeed are not always the ones who are the most gifted, but they are the ones who show up consistently, the ones who stick to the process, even when the results aren't immediate. Talent can give you a glimpse of success, but it's discipline that turns that glimpse into reality. Discipline is what builds the habits that lead to long-term growth. It's the foundation of all success, and without it, no amount of talent will ever make up for the lack of effort. Discipline is what creates sustainability and success. Talent might give you a burst of brilliance, but it's discipline that ensures you don't burn out, that you don't fade into mediocrity. Discipline is what turns good days into great ones. It's what helps you rise above obstacles, and it's what pushes you to be better than you were yesterday. In the end, Talent is something you're born with, but discipline is what you decide to develop. You have the power to choose whether or not you want to make discipline your ally, whether you want to put in the work, the effort, and the time necessary to take your talent to the next level. So choose discipline, because discipline is the real difference between those who rise and those who fall. It's not talent that will carry you across the finish line. It's the relentless, consistent application of discipline that will. Discipline builds what talent alone can't sustain. Talent may give you an early boost, but it's discipline that ensures you continue moving forward when the initial excitement fades. You've probably seen it happen before. People who start strong, who shine for a while, but then they burn out or plateau because they didn't have the discipline to maintain their progress. Talent can get you through the door, but it's discipline that keeps you in the room. Think about the athletes who are naturally gifted. They might have an edge when it comes to raw ability, but how many of them fizzle out because they don't work on their craft every single day? Talent can only take you so far, but discipline is what keeps you growing, learning, and evolving. It's discipline that helps you push through the obstacles and the grind, especially when things get tough and the results aren't immediately visible. Talent can light a fire, but discipline is the fuel that keeps it burning. Without the daily habits, the structure, and the persistence that discipline provides, even the most talented individuals will eventually lose momentum. You can't just rely on talent to carry you forever. At some point, the work and the dedication are what will make the difference between success and stagnation. Success doesn't belong to the most naturally gifted. It belongs to those who show up day in and day out and put in the work, regardless of how they feel or how talented they are. Discipline ensures that your talent is nurtured and sustained, that it's not wasted or left to wither. Discipline is the difference between starting strong and finishing strong, between potential and achievement. If you rely solely on your talent, you risk getting stuck. Talent is fleeting, but discipline is what gives you the power to keep growing, to keep improving, and to keep achieving long after the novelty of natural ability fades away. It's discipline that turns talent into mastery, and without it, talent alone will never be enough to take you all the way. Success follows systems, not sparks. Sparks of inspiration and moments of motivation are powerful, but they're fleeting. They come and go, lighting up your path for a brief moment, but they don't have the staying power needed to build something lasting. If you only rely on those brief flashes of brilliance, you'll find yourself stuck, waiting for the next spark to push you forward. But systems are different. Systems are repeatable, they're reliable, and they're what you lean on when motivation fades. It's the systems, the daily habits, the routines, the processes that take you from where you are to where you want to be. Success doesn't happen because of one great idea or one burst of energy. It happens because you've committed to a series of steps that over time compound and lead to results. Those who succeed don't just wait for moments of inspiration to strike. They've built systems that work regardless of how they feel. And when motivation is low, the system is what keeps them on track. Think about the most successful people in any field. They don't rely on excitement or motivation to carry them through. They've developed systems, whether it's a daily routine, a proven strategy, or a set of principles they follow, and they stick to those systems no matter what. Systems create consistency, and consistency creates progress. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success happens overnight, or that you need a sudden stroke of genius to make it. But the truth is, it's the steady, consistent work that compounds over time. Success doesn't follow the highs of your emotions. It follows the steady rhythm of your systems. The most successful people have mastered this truth. It's not the quick, temporary sparks of inspiration that get you ahead. It's the systems, the habits, and the actions that you consistently take that build momentum and create success. If you want real, lasting success, focus on building systems that support your goals. Let go of the idea that one big idea or one great moment of energy will make the difference. Instead, put your trust in systems that guide you through the ups and downs, through the easy days and the hard ones. Success follows systems because systems lead to sustainable growth. Discipline turns average into excellent. You don't have to be the most gifted or the most naturally talented to stand out. In fact, many of the most successful people in the world weren't born with exceptional abilities. They simply committed to doing the work when others didn't. Discipline is what elevates you from being just another person going through the motions to someone who stands head and shoulders above the crowd. It's the daily commitment to improvement that makes the difference between being good and being great. Average people don't become extraordinary by waiting for the perfect circumstances, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect moment to act. They become extraordinary by consistently showing up, doing the work, and pushing through even when it feels hard or uncomfortable. It's not talent that sets them apart, but the unyielding discipline to continue day after day working on their craft, improving their skills, and challenging their limits. Discipline is what transforms mediocrity into mastery. It's what separates those who give up after a setback from those who rise, learn, and keep moving forward. Talent alone might make you good for a short period, but discipline is what turns that potential into something lasting. It's the relentless pursuit of excellence, even when you're not feeling inspired, even when you don't see immediate results. Discipline keeps you on the path long enough to see the fruits of your labor. What separates the excellent from the average isn't a higher level of talent. It's the commitment to daily progress. The person who chooses to put in the time, to stick to their routines, and to push past challenges is the person who achieves greatness. The difference between average and excellent is simple. It's discipline. It's the discipline to show up when it's not easy, to keep learning when you think you know enough, and to keep growing even when the world around you might seem content with just getting by. Excellence isn't reserved for the few who are born with something special. It's earned by those who show up every day with discipline and a relentless desire to be better. So if you want to turn average into excellent, stop waiting for talent to take you there. Discipline is the key that unlocks your potential and takes you to the next level. Discipline controls the one thing talent can't: time. No matter how talented you are, you can't change the fact that every person has the same 24 hours in a day. Time doesn't discriminate based on your abilities or your gifts. Talent might give you an edge in the beginning, but it's discipline that ensures you make the most of every moment. Without discipline, time slips away, and no amount of talent can make up for the hours you waste. Think about how many talented individuals squander their time waiting for the perfect opportunity or hoping for things to just fall into place. Talent is a gift, but it can't hold back the clock. Discipline, however, is what helps you make the most of every minute. It's the habit of prioritizing your goals, staying focused, and putting in the effort consistently day after day. Time doesn't wait for anyone, but with discipline, you can make time work for you. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion that you have all the time in the world, especially when things come easy. But the truth is, time doesn't care about how naturally gifted you are. It only cares about what you choose to do with it. Discipline is what helps you make every minute count. And that's what separates the successful from those who fall short. The person who is disciplined enough to structure their time, to invest in their future, and to avoid distractions is the one who moves ahead, regardless of how talented the others may be. Talent may open doors, but discipline is what helps you use your time wisely and turn opportunities into results. The more disciplined you are, the more control you have over how you spend your time. And in the end, it's not your talent, but your disciplined use of time that will determine how far you go. Time is the one thing that talent can't control, but discipline gives you the power to make the most of it. So if you want to go farther, achieve more, and become the best version of yourself, stop waiting for time to work for you. Take control with discipline. Without discipline, talent becomes a trap. Talent in its purest form is a gift, something you're born with that gives you an advantage over others. But if you rely solely on your talent, you risk falling into a dangerous trap, the trap of complacency. Talent can deceive you into thinking that you don't need to work as hard, that you can coast on your natural abilities. The truth is, talent without discipline is like a fire without fuel. It burns bright for a while, but it will eventually fade away. When you're naturally gifted, it's easy to become lazy. You might feel like you can achieve success without putting in the effort that others are making, but over time, that lack of effort will catch up with you. The world doesn't reward talent alone. It rewards consistent effort, the willingness to keep going when others quit, and the ability to stay focused and disciplined even when the results aren't immediate. Talent alone won't carry you through the hard times. It's discipline that keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when the road gets tough, or when you feel like you've hit a plateau. Without discipline, your talent doesn't lead to growth, it leads to stagnation. You may reach a certain level of success with your natural abilities, but you won't be able to sustain that success, and you definitely won't be able to push beyond your current limits. Discipline is the key that unlocks the full potential of your talent. It's what ensures that you don't just settle for good enough, but instead strive for excellence and growth. Talent is like a seed. It has the potential to grow into something great, but without discipline, it won't be nurtured. Without discipline, talent doesn't reach its full potential. It stays dormant, or worse, it wilts. Discipline is what gives your talent the structure, the consistency, and the focus it needs to thrive. Without it, talent becomes a trap, a false sense of security that convinces you you're good enough when in reality you're only scratching the surface. If you want to truly achieve greatness, you can't rely on talent alone. You need discipline to channel your abilities into focused, consistent action. It's discipline